I'm not here to tell you guys who you should sleep with, who you should go after, what kind of girl you should pick and choose. Whatever your preference is your preference. Ladies, I'm not here to hate on you. I'm not here to tell you that you should keep your virginity till sex, no marriage till sex. You can do whatever you want. You have free will. I'm showing you guys the difference between a virgin girl and a non-virgin girl. That's all I'm doing here. Again, I'm a messenger. I'm not a woman hater. I'm just here to spread the message. You can do whatever you want with it, with this message. That's completely, entirely up to you. If you don't think there's a difference between a virgin and a non-virgin, you're out of your mind. For those of you who have messed around with, hung out with, went after, chased after, you don't really need to chase after virgins. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit later. For those of you who have experience with virgin girls, you know what that means. You guys know there's a big difference between them and somebody who's not necessarily been ran through, but even if she has only had sex with only one guy or two guys, there's still a huge difference between those two individuals. They could be exactly the same person. Exact looks, exact personality. They could be like completely identical twins, and there will be still a huge difference between them. In thermodynamics, there's a law. It's called the first law of thermodynamics. It says energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only convert from one form to another form. This is also called the conservation of energy equation or theory, whatever you want to call it. I have a question only to guys here, okay? If you guys haven't had sex or masturbated in a while, and by in a while I mean at least a month, how much more energetic do you feel? You feel hyper focused. You feel super energetic. You feel like you're Superman, right? You start hitting new PRs in the gym. You feel super focused, hyper focused when you're about to go take an exam. If you're about to debate someone in an argument or about a topic, you feel like you just know what to say exactly to what they're saying. Before, maybe you had the thoughts in your head, but you didn't know how to put those out, how to put those thoughts out in words. But now you're just capable of doing anything. You feel like you can accomplish everything and anything. Where do you think that's coming from? It's coming from that energy from your semen. So what happens when you have sex with a girl? She receives that energy. Doesn't matter if you put it in her litter box. Her litter box is whatever is in between her legs. Or if you put it in her mouth. Or if you just put it on her body anywhere else. Her skin will absorb it. Just think it like that. I don't know if biologically actually that's her skin is doing that or not, because she might wipe it off, but just think it like that you're giving your energy to her. And the reason why I want you to think it like that is because every single time a girl is having sex with a guy, she takes his energy. This is why you will see that when you're hanging out with a girl or when you're having sex with her, after a while, by after a while, I mean maybe a week, that's all it takes. She starts, like if you guys are having sex consistently on a weekly basis, she starts taking your ways of talking, walking, doing things. She starts talking like you. And people call it, oh, you're rubbing off on me. You're rubbing off on her. That's what that means. That means your energy is being converted into her. And she's taking all that in. So whatever form that she was in before she lost her virginity, which was a pure form. A girl who's a virgin is the most pure form of girl that there can be. There's no argument on that, right? At least we can find some common ground. If you're a female and you don't agree with me on this, at least we can find some common ground in regards to that. That if a girl who hasn't had sex yet, she's the most purest form of she ever will be. At least that's a common ground. Everybody can see that, right? There has been wars, battles, kingdoms falling, empires destroyed in the past over a girl's virginity, over females. You need to go win over her. Why? Because she's the king's daughter. She's pure. She hasn't had touched any man yet. You're going to be the first prince or the first king to get her. I'm not making any of this up. It has happened in the past because people knew back then how important and pure a girl's virginity was to a man. They still do, but social conditioning and brainwashing has changed that from a lot of people. A lot of people are starting to believe that, oh no, it's no big deal. Female can just be like men and they can go around and sleep with whoever they want, as many guys as they want. They're still gonna be the same. They're not the same. A man sleeping with multiple women was never, is never, and never will be the same as a woman sleeping with multiple guys. So once she takes that semen from you, she's no longer in her original form now. She starts to change. Whatever way that is, her mentality, her psychology, how she views guys, how she views sexual dynamics, relationships, all of that starts to change. She's not the same person. She's not that quote unquote naive anymore. That naiveness, that femininity, that pureness made her so much more attractive to guys, to smart guys, to actual men. Not these little kids walking around in beta males. She doesn't have that anymore, right? She never will have it back again anymore. I had this conversation with this girl a couple days ago. She said, I've only had sex with 2 guys, and it was months before that happened. So what? Do you think after you had sex with these 2 guys, your litter box just automatically became like, it renewed? Is that what you think is happening? If you have sex with one person, you think if you wait a few more months to have sex with somebody else, you think between those few months, your litter box is being renewed? Your vagina is being renewed? I didn't want to say the word the vagina, but a lot of you guys probably don't know what I'm referring to, litter box. It's what's in between her legs, all right? I try to keep it somewhat PG-13. Do you think that's being renewed? No, it's not. It's gone. Once you lose it, it is gone. In your head, unless you get into a car accident where you go into, what you call it, you know, where people cannot like talk or anything, but they're still conscious. Unless you go to that state and your brain completely resets, that's a different story. But you'll always remember those moments, those things you did with that guy. This is why you see that a girl who has had sex with somebody who, the first guy she has had sex with, has always had a very special, has always taken a very special place in her life. Even though that guy was a complete a-hole and things did not work out with her. You'll always see that, even if she doesn't want to talk about him to her current boyfriend, she's going to be talking about him to somebody. Say her friends, her family, whatever, for a long period of time. Especially if that guy laid the pipe down pretty well. If he was really good in the bedroom and he took care of her. She's not going to forget him. This affects their mentality, fellas. Us men, we have the power of just sleeping with whoever we want and not being affected by it. Biologically, we have that. Why? Do you know why? It's because we have millions and millions of sperm cells coming out. That's why we were programmed to have sex with as many women as we can, but they don't. They have a limited amount of eggs, which they have to preserve for the highest bidder, meaning the alpha male. So once they start to that's why they're not programmed to have sex with as many men as they want. Even though it feels good in the moment, yeah, but it is causing them tremendous damage in the back of their head. And they have no idea. They don't even know. This is why when she's not a virgin anymore, she's far too gone. You'll notice if you're talking to a virgin girl about anything, really, right? She's going to come across as more feminine, as more agreeable than somebody who is not. Because they haven't been brainwashed. They haven't bought into that feminist ideology yet. Maybe they have, okay? Maybe they have. Maybe they're going to lose their virginity pretty quick in the next week or so. But for the most part, a virgin girl also is also kind of easy to get with. If you have somewhat your stuff together, because a lot of these times these virgin girls think that guys don't like them. They have low self-esteem. It's because nobody has had sex with them, and they're seeing that their friends are just laying down every other night with some different guy. So it kills their self-esteem. So if you can find a virgin girl and you know she's good looking and she has the feminine quality, she's pure still, I would highly encourage to jump on that and actually treat that girl right. Somewhat right, okay? By somewhat right, I don't mean that just pedestalizing her, right? I mean that keeping your intentions good with her instead of just pumping and dumping her. Because the guy she loses her virginity to, she is latched onto him. If he keeps masculine frame, and if he keeps his masculine role right, what he's supposed to do in a relationship, instead of being feminine, instead of portraying feminine energy, she's going to do whatever he asks her to do. He could potentially end up marrying her if you're one of those guys still wants to get married. I highly discourage it because of the marriage laws, but that's a different topic. But most likely you can hold that girl from turning into a slut. If you're the first one and you keep everything nice and tidy with her, don't let yourself slip. That's your potential future right there, future girl right there. And that's gonna be a really dang good one. If you tell her this is what you want out of it, you want somebody to cook, clean, raise the kids, she will do it. Why? Because she is latched onto. You're the first person, fellas. That's how important losing their virginity is. Us guys losing, if we haven't lost our virginity by like 18, this is shameful for us, right? It means nothing to us. The first girl I've slept with, I barely remember her last name. I barely remember her first name the other day. I had to think really hard. It means nothing to us who we sleep with. We can completely just turn that switch off in our head and like, okay, it's just another leg. But they cannot do that. This is why after she has sex with the first guy, the second, third, fourth guy that she sleeps with, she cannot do that for them. She cannot be that submissive for them because she already gave that most valuable thing that she has to somebody else. That's gone to somebody else. You guys need to understand that. A woman's virginity, her body, is the most valuable asset that she has. Nothing else. Not her college degree, not what kind of job she does, not what kind of money she makes, how quote-unquote caring she is. She's not caring. Give her 6 years. Date her 6 years. See if she's still giving you back rubs. If she's still giving you foot massage. If she's still sucking and effing you 3 times a day, every day. She's not going to. It's going to drastically drop. She's obviously going to do that at the cupcake phase towards the beginning of the relationship to win you over. And once she wins you over, it's all gone. She's like, okay, I got him now. But a virgin female, no. You are literally her everything. That's how she looks at you. Now, where can you find these virgin girls? State of Utah in the States, in America, has a lot of them. Also, small town girls, all right, compared to big cities, because they don't have as many options around them and they don't want to sleep around from guys to guys so that their reputation doesn't get blacked out, right? But what you have to understand about these small town girls, is that most of the time they're in high school when they're still virgins, right? And that's where it becomes tricky. You have to know the age of consent law in that state before you start messing around with these girls. Otherwise, you're gonna start catching cases. I don't want any of you guys to catch cases and come out here, oh, Zeke, you told me to go find small town girls. Yeah, be smart about it, guys, okay? That's where you can find them. And it's sad that these girls are losing their virginity at age 13, 14, 15. Like, dude, what is going on? Dude, when I was 13, 14, which was not even that long ago, there was still way more virgins than there are now. So it's just going to progressively gonna get worse from now on. This is why I say that either you find that girl at your early age, when you're in high school or like early college days, or if you're getting older, the best thing you can do to yourself, for yourself, is to get your stuff together, get rich. That way you're gonna attract a whole bunch of women. Otherwise, guys, you're pretty much out of luck. Because the older they get, the worse they get. The more guys they're gonna sleep with, the more energy they're gonna acquire from these guys, the more mentally damaged they're gonna become. A female who's not a virgin is mentally damaged. Now, she's a damaged good. And now I'm not saying that every single person who's not a virgin cannot be a good person. Yeah, there's still good women out there like that who can still, who has only had sex with 2 guys, and both of those were the really long-term relationship, right? 1 year, 2 year relationship. Yeah, that's a little different. But they're still women. You still have to know their nature. But they're still not as pure as they were when they lost their virginity. And if you can find a girl who's 100% at her operating level as a feminine woman who has lost their virginity already, let me know, because those are like unicorns. And what do we know about unicorns? Some know it, some believe in them, some don't believe in them, but none of us has seen them, right? None of us has seen an unicorn. So if you see one, let me know. Hope this video made sense, guys. You know, they're gonna out here be trying to shame you with all these shaming languages. Oh, I cannot believe you said that. You're an a-hole. You're a piece of S. You are this and that. You're hurt. Who hurt you? You're bitter. You just can't get laid. You can't get a girlfriend. This is why you can't get a girlfriend, because you treat women like this. You're a women hater. You're a misogynist. All these shaming languages they're gonna throw at you, but they will never tell you that you are lying. They will never tell you that this is wrong that you're saying, because this information I'm giving you, 100% to the point. Even they know that they're not the same person anymore after they lose their virginity. They give a very big part of their life to somebody once they lose that V card. This is why you see that virgin girls are sometimes really hard to get into bed with, because they try to make you go through all these loopholes, this and that. But they're worth it. If you find a decent looking girl who's virgin and who has good attitude towards you, she likes you too, it is 100% worth it, because that's yours. That is yours. Nobody has had that but you. Okay? The reason why I only date virgin girls is because I just can't stand the thought of another man's baloney pony, for lack of terms, whatever, baloney pony is whatever is in between our legs. Another man's hot dog, let's go with hot dog. Another man's hot dog has been in her litter box, has been inside of her. I just can't stand that, because now he has put his name on it. That was his property at some point. It's used up. I don't want used up stuff when it comes to love, relationship, companionship. I want something pure. I've only dated 2 girls, both of them were virgins. Those were extremely good relationships in my life. Those are both long-term relationships, over 1.5 years. And it's long-term for me back then, because I was in high school and early days of my college. The first relationship, I broke up with her, and I was stupid because of that, because I could have turned that around into something huge, something very meaningful in my life. She still probably would have been in my life today, but I was I was young and too dumb. So I didn't know any of this that I know today. And the second one, that ended up bad, because again, it was my fault. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video to your friends. This is a very important topic, guys, a very important topic. A lot of guys out here saying, oh, I don't care that she's a virgin or not, because if she's a virgin, she doesn't have the experience. Guys, you can give her that experience. Those are the guys who are saying that, they don't know any better. They're still very wet behind their ears. That's why they think experience, whatever she's giving you in the bedroom, that's the only thing you need to want from her. That's the only thing that matters from her. No, there's so many more things she needs to bring to the table, and she cannot do any of that for you. She cannot bring all those qualities for you into the table if she has given her most important thing, her virginity, to somebody else already, when she has already sold herself to somebody else. It is almost impossible for her to do. This is why she's damaged. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.